Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how I take notes. And just a few months back, I actually did a video on how to take pretty and effective notes, and it seems like a lot of you really enjoyed it. So I'm back with a very similar one. This video will feature the specific ways I take my notes, and to be honest, I consider my own notes to be pretty minimal. And I rarely include drawings and diagrams when it's unnecessary, so I just try to keep everything as simple as possible. So here I'm showing you guys the basis of my notes in general, and of course I start off with the main title that describes the content of the notes. In this video I'll be taking notes about active living. Then I write down a more condensed heading, and I use general points from whatever textbook or information source I'm using. So I usually start off with any information facts or points, and that if I have any details concerning that specific topic, I will indent it more to the right and write that down, and if necessary I will do that once more. However, I like to say I never do that. For my notes, I also really like to give them a little bit of visual components, just because I'm overall a visual learner, as well as makes my notes a little more interesting to look over. So I mainly use two different types of tables. One known as the T-chart, in which I do like a question and then correspond it with an answer. I also often use the comparative chart, in which I compare two different relative aspects. For necessary supplies, you will only need a colored highlighter and a black pen. However, if you're extra like me, you might want to get a brush pen, and I'll be using the Tumblr ABT Dual Brush Pen as well as the Muji 0.5 Gel Pen. As I mentioned previously, my notes are more simplistic rather than complicated. However, I usually like to go a little over with my titles, or you can just call me extra. So after I finished the title, I used a marker from IKEA, and I'm using that to write the headings mainly because the thin end of the Tombow brush pen is a little too thin for this instance. So like I mentioned, I'm just taking notes using the most basic point form way. Later, I added a chart that compared the consumption of fast food by Canadian men and women, and I don't know if I was just having a bad day that day, but I missed a line. And then I used a T-chart to show some negative impacts of technology on active living. So that concludes the basic of how I take notes. However, this definitely differs depending on each class, so I'll provide you guys with two more examples on taking notes in math and literature. Specifically for novel studies, I like to start each chapter with some vocabs that I don't know, and then I like to write a brief summary regarding the occurrence of characters, and generally a 3-sentence summary about what happened. Then I usually answer some questions provided by the teacher, and as you can tell, I really like using charts to represent and compare certain things. However, for math, it's a little bit more complicated. I mainly use the same method for taking information in, but because math is more information loaded, I usually need more subpoints. In addition, math requires a lot of drawings and diagrams, so you will see a lot more of that on my paper. And, oh yeah, one more thing, math is also heavily based on examples, so written examples are also very crucial. And for me, I like to highlight the example questions along with other important facts and formulas. Alright, so now for the giveaway. I've already mentioned it in my 5 tips to a productive summer holidays, so I guess if you already watched that video and entered the giveaway, feel free to exit the video now. But I just wanted to show a bit more of each product, so firstly is this to-do list in a book. It contains 183 pages which cover half the year and includes 5 tips for productivity, as well as some notebook pages in the back. I personally have one of these notebooks and find it very effective and useful for a day-to-day organization. As you have probably guessed from the beginning of this video, I will also be giving away 2 Kikuyu campus notebooks in the type B size with 6mm lined paper. And now for all of the pens. I'm first giving away 2 of these black Pentel sign pens that I used earlier. A Sakura Micron in the size 005, 4 unique colored Settler Tri-Plus fine liners, 6 of these color roller pens, a Pentel Energel in 0.7, and 5 of these Pilot Juice pens in 0.38mm. For a chance to win all the items shown, don't forget to check the description box for rules and ways to enter. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. The ways to enter the giveaway along with all of my social medias will be linked in the description box below. See you guys next time!